Hi guys, it's Claymore here. So you've seen the title of this video, or you've likely seen my recent critiquing of this current wipe in Tarkov, and Tarkov generally over social medias, and for some reason or other, you're interested as to why someone with over 10,000 hours in the game, who have been playing since point 0.8, has decided to at the very least stop streaming and making content for Tarkov for the foreseeable future. There will be a fair bit to unpack here, as this has mostly been a blend of accumulative issues for me that have piled up over the years as they've gone. But I'll start off by saying this. I do not hate the game. I do not hate Battlestate. I am not hating the game or Battlestate for the sake of hating. All I have ever done when I have provided feedback on Tarkov, which I have done since the very beginning, is put it forward with something constructive to go alongside of it, or at the absolute very least, be critical of it. It all comes, and still comes, from a place of me just wanting the game and BSG to be better. That's it. I am also not a negative person, nor do I enjoy the concept of being one whatsoever. You need only look at my streams, my videos, my community interactions, ask my good friends, and so on, to see that. So as much as some people would like to believe this is just me being negative for the sake of being negative, it simply isn't true to my character. With that out of the way, let's begin with my first major issue that caused me to stop playing. The deterioration of the Tarkov community. Now, to preface this, I firmly believe that the true core of the community is fantastic, full of content creators and players alike who have helped not just new players to get into the game, but have also helped BSG improve the game as it's continued. Full of people who have also helped me a lot too, whether it's via collaborations, offering me unique opportunities, and helping me to look after my mum, who deals with a lot of health issues often. So, you know who you are. Thank you for being amazing people, and thank you for being good friends of mine. That being said, whilst this core stays strong, there have been layers and layers of less savory players, streamers, and attitudes that have formed around it over the years. You could say when this happened was during the first Twitch Drops event, when the community started blowing up with new players, new streamers checking it out. Doesn't matter, not relevant. And this is bound to happen when a game community does grow. More bad apples within a bigger basket and such. But the real sense of community that I felt years ago, where people lifted each other up more than anything, just seemed to erode by the constant clashing between community members. This clashing could be over something as menial as whether you utilize crouch walking or not, as some people like to call it crab walking. And there are certain streamers who seem to thrive and foster toxic communities and chats, which have obviously exacerbated this. But ironically, this deterioration of the community is now seeming to affect the positive side too, to the point that any negative feedback, constructive or otherwise, would be shot down as either you being negative for the sake of it, hating on the game in BSG, or, this is my favorite, your opinion. Not opinion pieces about whether a system would be better this way or something else will be added to the game and make it better. Feedback about literal broken systems. I won't be naming names. I'd encourage you to check over my Twitter if you really wanted to crack the popcorn out. But now it feels more than ever before, and I never thought I'd use these words to describe the Tarkov community of all things. It feels like toxic positivity is ruining another part of the community. You can be positive and enjoy the game. No one is telling you not to do either of those things. And if they have said that, they're morons who deserve blocking and or banning. But when people are talking about genuine issues within the game, genuine experiences within the game, with video form or other, shared by many others across the board and wondering how it happened, how to fix it, what can BSG do better, that's not being negative. That's not just opinion. That's you being in denial. Whether it's because of your ego or because you don't want your enjoyment of the game ruined. It doesn't matter. Enjoy the game. Have fun on the game. No one who is sensible-minded is telling you not to. But when we start taking genuine feedback, as negative as it might be, and discarding it aside because you're having fun personally with the game, that's toxic. That's ignorant. And that's not acceptable. You, viewers, players, streamers, whatever, you need to be better than that. Because what happens when this starts happening is that less new players are going to get involved in the game because suddenly they feel like they have to love the game or a certain other way, and they get excluded from the community if they share a negative opinion about it. That's not what a community is, and what it ever should become. The next thing, though, that slowly chewed away at my patience and sanity over the years is the state of the AI. It has been a very common theme throughout the years that AI, no matter what type, regular, rogue, raider, boss, they've always been problematic. This is shown most during the start of a new wipe, whether a new AI type comes out or not. And it's irrefutable regardless that the AI have been improved upon quite a lot over the years of me playing. I'm not saying they haven't. But BSG's direction on AI difficulty always seems to come down to the same two things. Making them incredibly tanky, or making them extremely aimbotty. So aimbotty that they track you perfectly through cover or buildings even, through bushes that completely obscure you from them, but of course they can see you just fine. I cannot stress how much of a cheap method this is of making your PvE difficult in a game, and how utterly frustrating it is for players, new or old, to be killed by this. A lot of players are saying this is down to misplays, wrong peaks, missing shots, and so on, sometimes down to just generally bad luck, which are all valid and applicable to certain encounters with scavs. But when you share clips of being immediately taken out upon a first peek, close or from extreme range by regular AI, through several layers of bushes and so on, scenarios that you could not even started to play in, then that's not a skill issue, that's a game design issue. And BSG have always made the conscious decision to overtune the ever-loving fuck out of their AI during the first month or so of a wipe, whether it's to stall player progression, to prolong the longevity of early game, or just because they don't know how else to make them more of a challenge. I don't know. Only BSG know that. But they keep making this choice to overtune the AI regardless, and it comes across as uninspired in my eyes, and after years of ups and downs, I can confidently say there have been far more downs than ups with AI. And it's disappointing. Another major issue that I have had with BSG and how they've handled it over the years is the RMT issue in Tarkov. Now, cheaters are always going to be in a game like Tarkov, where there's an RMT market. It's unavoidable. But I cannot forgive the methods BSG have used, essentially patch jobs, to deal with them. I'm talking about the things like how they've limited the flea market. I'm talking about how you can't even drop your friends certain things now to help them out. I understand that RMT and cheaters are plaguing the game right now, and it's a tough fight. But the solution to that isn't to ruin the players' experiences. And I really feel that a lot of these changes to the flea market, to the economy, to being able to drop your friends things or not being able to anymore, these aren't solutions. These are band-aids. And it's not like Battlestate haven't just been recently fighting them like Jaeger have done over at the Cycle Frontier. They've been fighting them for years. And that's all they've come up with? Nothing else? To refer back to the Cycle Frontier, Jaeger didn't need to do this, but they created a system that's not been implemented in any game before, which is the cheater compensation system. Essentially, if you get killed by a cheater, or even someone who's abusing a glitch and they get banned or suspended for doing that, you get your gear back in that encounter you had with them. Jaeger didn't need to do that, but they came up with the idea within half a year. So what's Battlestate's excuse? It's just another thing that has just incredibly annoyed me to the point that I just can't even feel like I can do viewer giveaways anymore. Not how I used to be able to, at least. Not dropping them really nice things, hundreds of thousands of rubles or whatever. I can't do that anymore. A lot of the really cool things I was able to do with my community and my viewers, it's been taken away because Battlestate don't know what else they can do to combat RMT. I'm not saying that Tarkov hasn't done anything to fight cheaters, not at all, and anti-cheat systems are very expensive to maintain and upkeep. But we haven't really seen them do anything particularly major for anti-cheat for a long time. But all of these in-game changes, all these severe limitations, they just took away from my experience, made it more annoying, and cut off that link I had almost with the community. And as much as I don't want to predict too much, these are all indicators that Battlestate don't know what to do. And after all these years, all these new anti-cheat systems, supplementary or otherwise, that have popped up, it's concerning for me. My last major issue is that by this point, I'm just tired of the same old issues that seem to have persisted and plagued the game from wipe to wipe to wipe. I'm not going into specifics nearly as much for this one, although the state of the AI, the audio, they're good examples. But regarding the game's performance and server stability, battle stages never have seemed to get it right and stable, at least consistently. Frame drops in certain areas on certain maps, memory leaks, server stutters, desync, critical errors and bugs, and the constant backward steps with audio, quite literally in some cases. No other game I have played, early access or otherwise, have these constant issues like Tarkov does. You can use the "it's in beta" excuse all you'd like, but there are tons of other games out there in beta, in the extraction genre, that perform better than Tarkov, and quicker too. And to those people who will reply to this specific section of the video with, well, just go and play something else then, and stop playing Tarkov. I have. That's what this video is about. For nearly 10 months now, I've worked closely alongside the devs of the Cycle Frontier as a partner. I intend to do the same with Dark and Darker. But just because I've quit doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to be critical of BSG when I think it's necessary. Many of my friends, viewers, or fellow streamers know me as a positive and cheerful person. But when I see an issue, I talk about it, no matter what. And Tarkov means enough to me that even now, I still want to help it to be better. But as other games have come out in playtests, early access to full releases, or whatever, and I'm seeing a much greater quality, a much greater progression curve of things like content, improvements, stabilizations, I can't sit here and make excuses for Tarkov anymore, or Battlestate. I just can't. And I still want to a degree, want to just say, you know, Battlestate are still learning, that it is in beta, that there's always going to be problems during a wipe, but I just can't excuse it anymore. Not after the years and years of this game, not after the thousands and thousands and thousands of hours I put in, and not after playing other games that just seem to do things better than BSG and Tarkov. With all that being said, it's with, regardless, a heavy heart that I will sign off this video, and from Tarkov completely. It's a shame that I've reached this point. I'm not happy about it. It's a shame that others will now gladly drag you down when you share your negative experiences and feedback. But that's just how it is now. And I can't change that. Hopefully, after watching this video, though, some of the people I've mentioned or referred to will at least come away a little wiser and a little more open-minded. Good night, guys. Take care. Stay safe. Happy New Year. And peace.